the world lets the opportunity to solve the Arab-Israeli conflict once and for all slip away. The world does nothing to stop the Iranian regime from acquiring nuclear weapons, and a terrible, new, even apocalyptic war erupts in the Middle East. The world continues to appease and coddle a corrupt and anti-Semitic Palestinian leadership, emboldening them to keep choosing terror instead of peace. And the world ignores the perils of artificial intelligence. Last Friday in Manhattan, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu delivered one of the most important speeches of his career. It was certainly one of his finest. Let me show you why. The first thing that struck me was that Netanyahu chose to frame his remarks to the most powerful leaders in the world by quoting the Bible. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, over 3 millennia ago, our great leader Moses addressed the people of Israel as they were about to enter the Promised Land. He said they would find there two mountains facing one another. Mount Gerizim, the site on which a great blessing would be proclaimed, and Mount Ebal, the site of a great curse. Moses said that the people's fate would be determined by the choice they made between the blessing and the curse. That same choice has echoed down the ages, not just for the people of Israel, but for all humanity. We face such a choice today. It will determine whether we enjoy the blessings of a historic peace, of boundless prosperity and hope, or suffer the curse of a horrific war of terrorism and despair.
Netanyahu then argued that the world must make a choice today between two entirely different paths, between blessings and curses. Path number one, the world, led by the United States, helps Israel and Saudi Arabia make an historic peace treaty that will effectively end the Arab-Israeli conflict and persuade many other Arab and Muslim states to make peace with Israel as well. The world persuades Iranian and Palestinian leaders to lay down their arms, lay down their weapons, and choose peace with Israel and prosperity for their own people. The world cooperates to ensure that the dawn of the age of artificial intelligence is handled wisely so that it can bring new blessings of peace and prosperity to all mankind. Okay, that's path number one. Now, what's path number two? The world lets the opportunity to solve the Arab-Israeli conflict once and for all slip away. The world does nothing to stop the Iranian regime from acquiring nuclear weapons, and a terrible, new, even apocalyptic war erupts in the Middle East. The world continues to appease and coddle a corrupt and anti-Semitic Palestinian leadership, emboldening them to keep choosing terror instead of peace. And the world ignores the perils of artificial intelligence. Humanity is replaced with machines, jobs are decimated, tyranny emerges, and AI leads the world into an unimaginable era of catastrophic war. Now, I absolutely agree with Netanyahu's comments on artificial intelligence, and we'll look at this more closely in a future show. But tonight, let's focus on what Netanyahu said about the stark choice between war and peace.
Now, for years, my approach to peace was rejected by the so-called experts. Well, they were wrong. Under their approach, we didn't forge a single peace treaty for a quarter century. Yet in 2020, under the approach that I advocated, we tried something different. And in no time, we achieved an amazing breakthrough. We achieved 4 peace treaties working with the United States. Israel forged 4 peace treaties in 4 months with 4 Arab countries: the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco. The Abraham Accords were a pivot of history. And today, we all see the blessings of those accords. There's no question. The Abraham Accords heralded the dawn of a new age of peace. But I believe that we are at the cusp of an even more dramatic breakthrough, an historic peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Such a peace will go a long way to ending the Arab-Israeli conflict. It will encourage other Arab states to normalize their relations with Israel. It will enhance the prospects of peace with the Palestinians. It will encourage a broader reconciliation between Judaism and Islam, between Jerusalem and Mecca, between the descendants of Isaac and the descendants of Ishmael. All these are tremendous blessings. 2 weeks ago, we saw another blessing already in sight. In the G20 conference, President Biden, Prime Minister Modi, and European and Arab leaders announced plans for a visionary corridor that will stretch across the Arabian Peninsula and Israel. It will connect India to Europe with maritime links, rail links, energy pipelines, fiber optic cables. This corridor will bypass maritime checkpoints, or choke points rather, and dramatically lower the cost of goods, communication, and energy for over 2 billion people. What a historic change for my country.
Netanyahu then did something very important. He made it clear that while he wants Palestinians to benefit from this new Middle East, they shouldn't have a veto over the process. Take a look.
I've long sought to make peace with the Palestinians, but I also believe that we must not give the Palestinians a veto over new peace treaties with Arab states. The Palestinians could greatly benefit from a broader peace. They should be part of that process, but they should not have a veto over the process. And I also believe that making peace with more Arab states would actually increase the prospects of making peace between Israel and the Palestinians. See, the Palestinians are only 2% of the Arab world. As long as they believe that the other 90% will remain in a warlike state with Israel, that larger mass, that larger Arab world could eventually choke, dissolve, and destroy the Jewish state. So when the Palestinians see that most of the Arab world has reconciled itself to the Jewish state, they too will be more likely to abandon the fantasy of destroying Israel and finally embrace a path of genuine peace with it.
I couldn't agree more. The world really does now stand at a crossroads between a blessing or a curse. Peace and prosperity with the Saudis and the rest of the Arab Muslim world, or decades of war, terror, and darkness led by the Iranian regime, led by the Palestinian leadership. And the stakes could not be higher.
Hey, I'm Mati Shoshani, and thank you for watching the TBN Israel YouTube channel. We hope this video gave you greater understanding of Israel and her people. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. We'd love to hear from you, so be sure to share what you've learned and ask your questions in comments below. And invite your friends to join the conversation.